When Tartaglia fell into the abyss at the age of 14, Skirk was the one who took him under her wing and taught him almost all of his abilities. She was a quiet and mysterious person. When Tartaglia asked her why she decided to take him as an apprentice, she told him that it was because he had awakened it and still had traces of it on him. So she was teaching him combat skills because it would be useful in the future. Tartaglia speculates that the it she talked about might be related to the narwhal he saw in his dream when he had just fallen into the abyss. Tartaglia tried to search for her again for years, but couldn't find any trace of her or the place where he fell into the abyss. According to Tartaglia, Skirk was an exceptionally skilled and seasoned warrior and a strict teacher, while he is known as one of the most dangerous among the 11 Fatui Harbingers, and was explicitly recruited for his combat prowess. He states that she could easily beat him with one hand. He is optimistic that in their next encounter, at his current power, he can force her to use both of them. She is said to live in another ancient world, the Dark Realm, or the darkest corners of the universe. In her realm, time flows differently from the known world. 3 months in her realm amount to 3 days in Teyvat, although her affiliation with the Abyss Order is not attested. She at least knows how to survive in the Abyss, and taught the way to child. Now, you guys are probably expecting a character like this to look weathered, a bit old, probably some scars and torn clothing. You guys probably expect a character with a description like this to look badass and also capture the feel of the environment of the Abyss in some way, shape, or form. Probably like Dainsleif or something, right? Right? So I once again made the unfortunate mistake of scrolling on TikTok at 5 a.m. And I came across this TikTok saying, there's no way they made Skirk look like another generic waifu for fan service. And I was looking at this TikTok and I remembered, oh wait, isn't that the bitch we saw for like 1 second in the 4.2 livestream? So then I started thinking about it and I realized, yeah, this is just 100% correct. Just plain, straight and simple, this is just correct. Now, I just want to say beforehand, I literally don't care about this character. I only knew about this character 24 hours ago and was now only reminded of them like 2 hours ago by that TikTok that I watched at 5 a.m. She's definitely not staying in my head 24/7 like the Queen Yelan does. But I will say this, I took like 5 minutes out of my day to read her singular piece of lore on the wiki, and if you don't think that's enough research on the character for me to speak my opinion about her, then go fuck yourself, Skyushu. I also want to say that I've never had a headcanon on what a character in this game should have looked like pre-release. I found it pretty funny when Haizo looked absolutely nothing like the fan art and people started losing their minds. Well, that's just what you get when you think your fucking art piece that you drew in like 30 minutes while you're high on ketamine isn't what Horrorverse actually wants their character to look like. But let me get on to the point here. I think that all of the current hate surrounding Skirk is pretty valid, at least from an outside person looking in on this situation with no bias towards either side. Firstly, what type of name is fucking Skirk? Skunk? Skr, like what type of name is that shit, bro? You never catch me dead having that type of name like that. Especially after I trained a Harbinger for years. Out of every name she could have picked to have, that just had to be her name. I would never take a person seriously if their name was Skirk. Even if they were my master or some shit, bro, I would train myself after that. Secondly, the character design for Skirk is clearly not made for her. When I first saw this bitch, I literally said out loud in my head, what in the goddamn Honkai Star Rail is this? This is not a Genshin character. This is a Honkai character. There's no doubt about it. Then not only does she straight up look like a Honkai character, she looks like the most generic design of what a Honkai character would look like. Like, I genuinely see nothing special about her design. I genuinely see nothing that makes her stick out. She just looks like a regular fucking Disney princess. She looks like Bronya if she started watching Frozen on repeat. I see nothing special or relatively hardened about this character, and that's the problem most people have. She's described to be an individual who lives in the darkest depths of the universe, the darkest corners of the universe, and trained Tartaglia for years in the Abyss. And guys, look, I'm no genius over here, but I'm pretty sure that the darkest corners of the universe and the Abyss are not so very girly pop places to be. I'm pretty sure those are like, I don't know, the most evil and terrifying places to be in the world of Teyvat. So when you have a character releasing who is the epitome of dwelling inside of that darkness for the majority of their life, you'd expect them to look weathered, tattered, battle hardened, not a goddamn seal recolor. Even as of right now, I've joined the Skirk mains Discord just to see what they're saying about her design and the drama around her design. And of course, the people who main and Symphony's characters, they're just absolutely glazing her design like it's the second coming of Christ. Hallelujah! We have been blessed on this day, Lord, for the irrelevant woman's design. And you know, that doesn't bother me because it's just expected. People who made these characters, people who simp for these characters, would do everything in their fatherless power to defend them even when there's a good argument surrounding that said character. Even I do it as well, for Yelan. Which you see is different because Yelan is actually perfection, and I just need people to realize that because every opinion that I have is correct without fault. I don't need any evidence for that. But the one and only argument that I only ever see like brung up for Skirk's design is that, oh well, she looks pretty, so it's a good design. Okay, so how about we take the Doomslayer from the Doom franchise and we put him in a ballerina dress? Is that now a good design for that character just because he looks pretty? Hell no, you fucking idiot, you lack media literacy. The Doomslayer kills demons for a living. He's not supposed to look pretty. He's supposed to look hardened and tough and badass because that's an appropriate design for his character based on who he is as a character. So this whole argument about Skirk's design actually being good just because it looks pretty is so retarded that I
can't believe my eyes.
What I'm trying to say here is that I believe Skirk's design is in fact ass, because not only is it the blandest piece of character design I've ever seen, blander than a goddamn suburban cookout.
I put the new forges on the Jeep. I trap until the
But the design does not reflect any of the horrors of the abyss where she resides in. You've got fucking average people turning into hulking monstrosities, skeletal floating dogs that causes you to die slowly from corrosion, and a whole armada of enemies that have either extremely dark lore or dark designs in general. And then you pull up with a character that would best represent that darkness as a whole, but you make her look like another copy and pasted waifu to jerk off to in Danboru. Needless to say, I think that drama around Skirk is pretty valid, and if you're a person watching this video and you have a somewhat sensible argument for her design, then by all means, I'd love to hear it in the comment section down below. If you're just a blind defender though, go suck my nuts. I'm gonna leave now, I gotta go watch Attack on Titan.